Public Access TV, the final frontier. Join me and the good cyber ship inmendum.com in this desperate voyage through the dense space of human understanding to seek the grand promise of progress, to go to a truth that no TV show has gone to before. Yes, it's inmendum.com, the TV show. Yes, it's a really badly made TV show. And maybe it will give you a bad headache. But you are probably too curious to change the channel. So now, without further bad singing, it's inmendum.com, the TV show. Welcome to inmendum.com, the TV show. This is show number 15. It's another one of the drawing shows, and the subject is going to be democracy. And there's sort of connection. I mean, I know the connection is going to be kind of obscure, but you know, art and drawing, it's it's a good metaphor for life. A lot of parts of life. You know, because you can choose at any point to basically stop drawing. I mean, artwork it's never really completed. I mean, you just pick a time to stop and say that's something. That's what I want to say. That's enough of what I want to say, and you leave it there. There's no such thing as perfection, and so you know, and with some structure in our social lives, we've done the same thing. You could argue to some extent in religion, you know, that people took a 2,000-year-old idea and you know, politics of 2,000 years ago, or even 4,000 years ago, and froze it in time, and just didn't let it mature and grow into anything. You know, because they just decided that was all it needed to be. It didn't have to go any further than that as a philosophy. um, and in this country, our democracy, we basically, you know, locked ourselves to this 200-year-old idea, and we just won't let it grow or evolve or change or, more importantly, mature into something better than it is. And it's a lot less than what it could be. It's half the democracy, you know, of what a third of the democracy. I mean, it's just, you know, it doesn't even come close. We have technology now. We have all kinds of understanding and history. The average person is, you know, so much more literate and so much more informed. It's a different world, and we just really should look at how our democracy functions and how we can improve it, based on the fact that, yeah, people are smarter than they used to be, and they are more informed. They have, you know, hundreds of cable channels. They have all this exposure. They have the internet. They have all this stuff. And they can take more responsibility. We, the people, can have more responsibility. And to be the most important thing, you know, I mean, the fundamental job of a democracy isn't just to provide this option to vote. You know, I mean, the old Russian system of voting up or down, you know, yes or no, for a candidate could have been called a democracy. I mean, because it gave people the right to exercise some control. But you know, you know, we wouldn't call it a democracy because there was no choice. And I would argue that some more sophisticated society than ourselves would look at our democracy and see it as, you know, just as flawed. I mean, compared to what could be, it really is, you know, terribly inefficient and dysfunctional. We don't do anything to compel or incite or encourage people to vote, and mainly because we force them to have such poor choices. We don't really have a democracy that's open, that allows people to vote their true preferences, and that allows them to basically seek or obtain what they're entitled to, which is representation. Um, Clearly, elections for the executive, the president, the governor, uh, sometimes the mayor, those are elections that have to be winner take it all. They're not representative elections. They're elections for the majority's will. But legislative bodies are supposed to be, in concept, a body of representative voices. And we don't have that here. We have constructed our democracy in such a way as that we allow the same majority to own or possess almost every one of those seats in a legislature. I mean, certainly they're always going to be, from the two parties, um, and like I said, the way districts are contrived and manipulated. Um, the system is almost deliberately and willfully trying to disenfranchise as many people as possible to make it impossible for them to gain any representation. Um, because I live in a, a, a majority Republican district, vast majority. My vote often, in many elections, doesn't really mean anything.